In this video, we'll be talking about crazy endgame build for longsword in Monster Hunter Wilds. This guide is based from a super skilled Japanese player who beats the Arkveld in just a few minutes. He's amazing at this game and I'm excited to share this build with you guys. First, let's be clear, in Monster Hunter Wilds, builds are not everything. They will help you kill monsters faster, but how you play is what matters most. You can have super high damage, but if you don't know the timing of the combat, you won't be able to beat Tempered Arkveld, for example. And if you want more combat tips, just check my other videos, and the more are coming soon. There's so much to cover, wow, and so little time. Alright, keep in mind that this build requires rare jewels, which will be used in gear, so be sure to head to melding pod to meld your decorations and meld them like crazy. Let's jump into this build. Let's start with weapon. We are using Gore Magala weapon. This weapon has high base attack and 20% affinity with high element attack. A kind of perfect sword basically. It is a really good longsword once you beat in Gore Magala. It has awesome critical element skill that will boost your element damage further. And its element is dragon. Dragon element is strong against dragons and monsters that are weak to it, so this weapon is a must-have. It's not the best for everything, let me clear that, but it will shred Arkveld, Gore Magala, and any monster that are weak to the dragon damage. So basically, most of them are in-game monsters. Now, let's talk about jewels. In the first jewel slot, we have Dragon Element level 3. This one is kinda tough to get, it depends on your RNG basically. I have to farm it a lot for this. You can start with level 1 Dragon Jewel, but level 2 is better because it boosts damage by 10% and with a 50 bonus. So not just flat damage, it's always good to boost as a percentage. For in-game though, you want to have a Dragon and Enhancer Jewel. It's great for dragon damage and keeps your spirit gauge from dropping too fast. For slots 2 and 3, we are using critical jewels. With this build, you'll have 100% critical chance most of the time. I'll explain how and why later on in the video. Before we talk about armor, there's a couple of things you need to know. 2 pieces of armor from this build will give you Frenzy. Frenzy is a shot status effect that stops health regen on a red bar and makes you take more damage around 20% or more. You can get rid of this debuff by attacking aggressively before the bar above your HP is filled up. If you do this right, it turns into an attack and affinity boost, a buff just for you. To cure this frenzy easily, I'll show you in the armor set below. In this build we use 2 pieces from Gore Magala, 2 pieces from Arkvulcan, and 1 piece from Arkveld. The 2 pieces from Gore Magala give you the group skill Black Eclipse 1. This skill will make you infected by frenzy when you started your fight with large monsters. The 2 pieces from Arkvulcan give you group skill Arkveld's Hunger. It helps you slowly regain health as you keep attacking the monster. So the key here is to attack monsters aggressively. Slice them like a kebab. This helps you get rid of the frenzy buff and turn it into a buff instead. It's a great combination. Now that we covered the set, let's look into the gear pieces and jewels. For the helmet we have Gore Helm Beta. We go for full beta here, since it gives more jewel slots. The Gore Helm Beta is the best choice here because it gives you a wait window which is small iframes, and Coalescence. Coalescence temporarily boosts your elemental damage by 12% after you recover from blights or abnormal status like Frenzy in this case. In the jewel slot, we have Challenger Jewel 3 for Agitator, which gives you a buff when monster is enraged, and trust me, they will get enraged a lot. We also have Gobbler Jewel to speed up some consumption. It is really useful, and once you stack that up in 3, you will consume your potion really fast. And for the chest, we are using Arkvulcan Mail Beta. This chest gives you Weakness Exploit level 1, which boosts your affinity when you hit the monster's weak point or wounds. And you want to stack Weakness Exploit to level 5. In this case, this is the first piece. In the jewel slot, we have a Challenger Jewel and Mighty Jewel. We're stacking up the Agitator skill with the Challenger Jewel and Maximum Might skill with Mighty Jewel. Maximum Might skill will boost your affinity once your stamina stays full for about 5 seconds. For gloves we have Arkveld Beta, which gives us 2 levels of Weakness Exploit. And then I have 3 Sheathe Jewels here because to make the Sheathe animation faster, to set up the counters, since this build is all about counter attack, to get the gauge up to red and then go full slice kebab mode. You can also do this by doing foresight slash, and if you get hit, you will be able to do the spirit round slash, and spirit round slash will level up your spirit gauge. This way is much more easier, but it's way cooler to do the Sheathe counter Seriously, Late Spirit Slash is way cooler. For ways, we have another weakness exploit level 2. So now we got weakness exploit at level 5 in total. We also get Arkveld's Hunger from group skill, like I mentioned it earlier. Plus we have recovery speed skill, which speeds up the healing process, the recoverable damage. Now, for the fun part here. We're using a Sheathe Jewel for Antivirus skill. This skill will help you get rid of the Frenzy debuff much more easier. And on the top of that, you'll get Affinity buff once you're cured. Keep in mind that we have 2 levels of Antivirus here. For boots, we have Antivirus level 1 and Flinch Free level 1. This gives us a total of 3 levels of Antivirus, which is awesome. Flinch Free is great because it stops you from being knocked back by small attacks, so it's just a bonus really. In the jewel section, we have Challenger Jewel for Agitator, which brings us to level 4 Agitator in total. And of course we have Gobbler Jewels in the 2 last slot for the faster potion consumption. For the talisman, we have Challenger Charm 2, and this one is to boost the Agitator to max level. Alright, now that we covered everything, let's talk about buff you'll get. With level 5 Agitator, when enemy is enraged, you get plus 20 attack and 15% affinity boost, add in level 1 maximum might, and that's another 10% affinity. On the top of that, with level 5 weakness exploit, you'll get 30% affinity on weak points and extra 20% on wounds. Once you cure Frenzy, you will get 15% affinity boost, 15% more from Antivirus. When you put all of this together with your weapon, you will have more than 100% affinity once you've overcome Frenzy. It's insane. And don't forget about Coalescence, it boosts your element damage by 12%. That means your dragon damage will be around 470. And with critical element skill, it will boost 15% of elemental damage, so it jumps to around 490. And you will do mostly critical hits with this build. Not gonna lie, I say it's pretty good damage. Now getting these gears isn't easy. You'll have to farm a lot and hope for the right jewels to drop, but instead I recommend you heading to the melding pod like I said in the beginning of this video, and melding skill gems that are similar. Or just pray to the RNG god for the jewels to drop once you meld all your stuff. The most important ones to focus on are Antivirus gems, especially if you want to wear the Gore armor early. You can use the Arkveld set for a while farming this, since it had great damage output and sustainable where you get your HP back when you hit the wounds. Or mix and match on your own until you have Antivirus gems ready for this build. Once that's done, you can switch to Gore 2 piece set, but always remember this, ABC. Always be farming. Let me know in the comment what build you are using and what build you want me to cover next. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Zia.